Hello everybody, welcome to my 27th week of pregnancy. So I know it's been like a whole 4 weeks since our last pregnancy vlog. I think in my last one I was 23. In the past 4 weeks I think it's pretty safe to say that I feel a lot bigger, and you know, if someone would stop telling me that I already look as if I'm about to pop, that would be great. Yeah, I apologize about the delay. I've just been traveling around the UK, you know, for my sister-in-law's wedding and all that stuff, and it's been great, but also feeling really great to be finally back home and just ready to, you know, really prepare for Peanut. On the subject of Peanut, like, we decided to name our baby boy Isaac, and we love the name Isaac, but yeah, for some reason still feels like a peanut to me. You know, my family members still call him Peanut. Let's get happy and see how baby Isaac is doing. Okay, so at 27 weeks, baby is the size of a cauliflower, so measuring around 14.4 inches from head to heel. That's pretty something, because you know, my very first vlog, you know, Peanut was like a centimeter, and now we're moving on to 14 inches and weighs approximately 2 pounds. Your baby resembles what it will look like at birth, except thinner and smaller. His hearing should be mature enough now to recognize both your voice as well as your partner's. Powerful kicks and twirls in the utero can leave you pain, which may even cause bruises to form. What? So it just hit me that I'm reaching my 3rd and final trimester next week. So this part is done, and now the part that I've kind of been dreading. Off to weigh myself. Be right back, guys. I just weighed myself and it looks like I'm approximately 52 kilograms, just slightly over it. So I think I've gained about 2 kilograms in the past 4 weeks. My weight gain is pretty steady and pretty healthy. Still looks like most of the weight is still all in my belly. My face has definitely got rounder, but I think my fingers are starting to swell just a little bit because my ring does fit a little tighter. Let's talk about the baby kicking. I constantly feel Peanut kick all the time, and it's just such a weird feeling, you know, because at the beginning, you know, the baby was way at the bottom of my uterus, but now I can actually feel him like poking me up here in my ribs, and you know, my kicks are no longer just all in the center. I feel it in my side, so it must be his head or his feet like stretching. I think he's pretty smart in a way, because if I were to put my hand in like any part of my belly for just a few moments, I can actually feel him like prod me back in that area where my hand is, and I can switch to a different side and he would do the same. So I think that's pretty interesting. And I got the most powerful kicks when I was in London and I was watching a musical, and the musical I was watching was called Wicked, and oh my goodness, he must have loved the musical because he was kicking so much. Another thing I've been feeling is a lot of pressure just in my pelvic region. You know, when I was in England I had a lot of energy, you know, I was walking like, you know, so much, and most of the time I'd be fine, but sometimes I'd get up from bed, or if I'm getting up from sitting, I would just feel like a lot of pressure like down below. So I don't know if it's because he's upside down and, you know, his head is wedged in my pelvic area, but yeah, I could get a little uncomfortable, so I'm like, slow down, can we walk slower? Sometimes I kind of walk around like lifting my bump. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I actually really do that, especially you know, after I eat a huge meal. You know, when I get up, it's like, ugh. I'm feeling really lucky, because I know a lot of women would have gotten like aching, sore backs by now, and I've had some moments where I had sore backs, but you know, it comes and goes, and you know, most days I'm fine. So it's kind of like maybe 2 out of 10 days I'd get more of an uncomfortable back, and I find that it's after I eat a large meal that is when I stand up and my back would hurt. I don't know why. And I don't know, maybe to do with my belly getting even heavier. When I was in England, it was kind of hard not to overeat because I had a truckload of appetite. I ate a lot, you know, even Tim's parents were like, whoa. You know, now that I'm back in Hong Kong, the weird thing is I'm back to wanting to eat vegetables and fruit again, you know. I'm constantly drinking my water with my strawberries inside. By the way, this is my Saturday Sunshine tumbler made by my friends April and Justin, and you know, I love it. I'm craving a lot of yogurt, fruits and veg, just anything that's crunchy and cold. It was also a few days ago that I got my first leg cramp. I was in bed and I just woke up and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna stretch out my legs. And the moment I did that, one of my legs completely tensed up in my calf area. And I was like, oh my gosh, Tim. And at that time, Tim was next to me sleeping, so he kind of got up and he was kind of like startled. He didn't know what was going on. It hurt a lot more than I imagined as well. So when I wake up now, I no longer kind of stretch my feet like this. I just kind of flex them. Because my belly has grown a lot in the past 4 weeks because the baby is busy putting on weight, my belly has been itchier than ever. So far, there are no stretch marks, but you know, we don't know. I don't want to be too optimistic, but my mom and sister did get stretch marks, and you know, I have been good and I've been putting cream on and you know, belly oil every day, but you know, I think products only work to a certain extent, so it is about your genetics. I really enjoyed that moment in my second trimester where I was, you know, just able to just not pee as much, but yeah, I'm definitely peeing a lot more. And even if it's just, you know, a little bit, I feel like I have to go. Today we're getting people coming in. They're going to be installing in the guest room, which is also going to store the baby things. So I'm going to be sorting like the baby clothes soon. We ordered a crib, we ordered the car seat and stuff. You know, now that we're really preparing everything, it really makes us super excited for Peanut's arrival. Do you see how I'm always calling him Peanut instead of Isaac? Now let's move on to what most of you guys just waited to see, the baby bump. Okay, so I changed into a different dress because the other one was kind of like baggy and loose, so you can't really tell. So this one is more fitted, so you get more of an accurate idea just how big I am now. When I was in England, you know, I had so many people say to me, oh, you're about to pop, aren't you? And I'm like, no. I think it's just because I'm short, so it just looks extra big on me. So one side, front, and the other side. And you know, some of you guys ask about the boobs. Yes, the boobs did get bigger, but sometimes it's like your bump also gets bigger, so it doesn't look that big because, you know, overall, you know, your bump kind of like overshadows the boobs. So since I am wearing shorts underneath this dress, I can lift this up for you guys. Look at that. Sometimes the baby may curl up more to one side, and I find that my bump is like bigger and slightly bigger in my right side. Also, I finally know why people sit with their legs open. It's because like if you sit with your legs closed, your belly just sits on top of it, and you know, you just end up getting like a sweaty upper thigh area. My pregnancy has been, you know, just really smooth so far, and I just feel so grateful. So thank you guys once again just for chilling with me and just walking this amazing journey with me. I shall see you in 2 weeks time, so take care. Mwah!